Cheryl Reeve response speaks volumes after confronting Sun players outside locker room. Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve did not deny claims that she confronted opposition players outside the locker room after Game 1 of her team's playoff series with the Connecticut Sun. Tensions between the rival camps allegedly boiled over after the visitors pulled off a 73-70 win in the opening game in the semifinals series at Target Center. It was reported by The Athletic that four-time WNBA Coach of the Year Reeve took issue with her opposition's celebrations after their triumph. The 58-year-old is claimed to have ran up to Sun players as they made their way to their locker room, with the venue's security eventually called upon to defuse the fracas. Now, when questioned about the incident following Game 3 in the series, Reeve gave a coy response on the matter. 11 times Caitlyn Clark justified Rookie of the Year award after landslide over Angel Reese. Nike faces backlash over Caitlyn Clark treatment since $28 million deal. The four-time league championship victor put the altercation down to the will of both teams to win as she refused to distance herself from the reports of a skirmish. She simply said it's like the players always say, there's really competitive people in the playoff. Reflecting on the alleged incident, Lynx guard Courtney Williams admitted that she had very little to offer in the way of details about what had occurred. Keeping her cards close to her chest, she said, "I didn't even see them celebrating. I was focused on us. Whatever they did, they did." Likewise, Sun coach Stephanie White claimed that she was not present to witness Reeve purportedly remonstrating with her players. As she confirmed following Game 3 of the series, "I wasn't there, but that was a week ago. I don't really have any comment on that still." The Minnesota Star admitted that relations were tense with the opposition camp heading into Game 2, which they edged 77-70. She said the first game they were chirping and chatting. "So we had to give it back to them. Folks ain't fighting. It's just playoff basketball." Ultimately, Reeve has been eager to keep her team focused on the job at hand as her team took a 2-1 lead in the series after a 90-81 win in Game 3. With her troops now one win away from reaching the WNBA Finals, the coach remarked, "The further you go in the playoffs, the harder it gets. The team you're playing against is obviously here for a reason because they're really good. We're here because we're really good. And now it's two teams going back and forth, not going to make anything easy. And then it's just about players finding a way to make a play." Class ACT Caitlyn Clark sent direct statement by NBA legend Reggie Miller after WNBA star is caught up in Angel Reese bust-up. NBA legend Reggie Miller sent a message to Caitlyn Clark after her WNBA season ended. The rookie phenom posted on Instagram after the Indiana Fever season came to a close. "Clark has helped take women's basketball to incredible new heights this year." 22-year-old was named WNBA Rookie of the Year by a landslide. She won 66 of the 67 total votes, with only a single vote for Angel Reese preventing a unanimous win. Clark's rivalry with Reese this year has carried on from college days into the WNBA. The Indiana Fever selected Clark number 1 overall out of Iowa, while Reese went at number 7 out of LSU to the Chicago Sky. Reese's season unfortunately ended due to injury, which allowed Clark to streak clear in the WNBA Rookie of the Year vote. "I'm filled with gratitude as I reflect on this past year of my life. See you all in year 2. And NBA legend Miller threw her support behind Clark on her Instagram post. Baller, the 5-time All-Star, wrote. Miller spent his entire distinguished 18-year NBA career with the Indiana Pacers before retiring in 2005. Clark, meanwhile, received a call from WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert to tell her she'd won the award. Clark had 19.2 points per game compared to Reese's 13.6. She also led her rival in assists per game with 8.4 to 1.9. But Reese was the better rebounder, averaging 13.1 per game to 5.7. "I am incredibly honored to be named Rookie of the Year," Clark said. "But more than that, I am grateful to everyone that supported me throughout this past season." As the NCAA season approaches, all eyes are on the Iowa Hawkeyes and the intriguing storyline of Caitlyn Clark's departure. The 22-year-old had been a powerhouse for the team over the past 4 years, leading them to consecutive national championship games, though they fell short of victory both times. This season, the Hawkeyes will take the court without their star player, but they are not completely left in the lurch. To help fill Clark's shoes, Iowa has already made a new signing, a move made possible largely thanks to the efforts of former head coach Lisa Blunder. Shortly after the Indiana Fever selected Caitlyn Clark as the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, the Iowa Hawkeyes secured former Villanova Wildcats star Lucy Olsen's commitment from the transfer portal. In a recent interview with CBS Sports, Olsen shared what influenced her decision to choose Iowa as her next home. Her response highlighted the subtle role played by former head coach Lisa Blunder, which convinced her that Iowa was the right choice for her next chapter. I mean, from the first phone call, they were my first one, and Coach Blunder, head coach. I mean, that felt very important. Obviously, Coach Blunder is awesome and amazing. But I think after that, then I did a Zoom call with all the coaches and you could feel the love through the Zoom call, stated Olsen on CBS Sports.